Hey, and speaking of cloud-based shit,
Yes.
Xbox
Yes.
absolutely crushing it lately. They just released the official Android version of the GamePass app, which lets
Yes.
you stream your Xbox games right to your Android device
hmm
wirelessly through the internet. As long as you have a good connection, you could play Xbox One quality games on your phone.
Yeah. And specifically with that, so we both tried it briefly
Yeah.
in the beta version. You had a great experience with it, right?
Yeah. It was, there's going to be input lag, but
Right.
it didn't have any hiccups or anything.
Yeah. Mine, and because my internet connection is not probably as stable as yours,
Yep.
I definitely had some issues with it. Um, but I think the technology for that is so close. I think it's so close to being perfect.
Yeah.
Um, and the ecosystem that Microsoft has with it connected to Game Pass, right?
Hmm.
Soon going to be EA Play. Um, all of these things, they are creating this ecosystem for themselves that, yes, they have their hardware, but to me, the selling point of it, whether it's Xbox, PC, having a phone that can have the Game Pass app on it, is the ecosystem they're creating in that all of their first party stuff is free,
Hmm.
right? You get third party stuff on there. You get first party games the day they launch and you don't have to pay for them. And you have this subscription that gives you access to hundreds of games. And now it's going to be EA Play or EA All Access or whatever the hell it is.
Hmm.
I mean, that is insane. Plus Xbox Live, right?
Yep.
And then you get the gold games or whatever the fuck it is. I mean, there's a lot of incentive there for $15 a month.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's ridiculous. And you can literally play anywhere and play your save anywhere.
Yep.
I can play Halo on my phone, right?
Hmm.
And then I can go to my computer and pick up the same save. And then maybe I want to go sit on my couch in my living room so I can stop playing my computer and then go continue playing the exact same save.
Yep.
That's ridiculous. That's insane.
And I want to compare it quickly to remote play for the PlayStation because I know someone's going to make the argument. It's the same thing. We've had this technology for years, and I felt the same thing too. But it's not the same. Remote play for the Vita and remote play for your desktop, or I think they have a remote play app for your phone as well. Is nothing
Mm-hmm.
is nothing like this because
No, and it doesn't run. It doesn't run as well either.
it doesn't. But what that would do is it would basically turn your PlayStation on, and you would just mirror your PlayStation screen to your device. It seems like with this, your Xbox is just doing its thing. You're playing the game
Mm-hmm.
through the cloud with your save.
Right.
You know?
Right. Your processing power is not on. You're not streaming from a device. You're
Yes.
streaming from a service.
Exactly.
But that service communicates with all of your devices and also has your save.
Yep.
For everything.
Yep.
And I've used the whatever is for the PlayStation. What is it? Was it
Remote
called?
play?
Share play, remote play, and it's not. It takes the fidelity too because it's streaming it and lowers it. On the Vita, you don't tell as much because it's a smaller screen.
Yep.
But I've played like Persona 5 Royal, for example, for my PlayStation onto a computer, and I did it once, and that was about it.
Yep.
And that's all. I'll leave it at that.
Yep.
It's not a great experience, and they haven't invested in it as much.
Yep.
They kind of stopped, and that's fine. But Xbox, on the flip side, is definitely investing in their cloud stuff and Game Pass specifically. You look at some of the acquisitions they made. One of the biggest deals in the biggest deal in video game history from monetary
I was just going to say,
standpoint came
yeah.
with the Xbox acquired ZeniMax Studios for $7.5 billion.
Yep.
And ZeniMax has a lot of studios under it.
They have Bethesda games.
Online games are hard. I read on the internet that our games have had a few bugs. Sometimes it doesn't just work.
They have id games. They have, the Evil Within games. They have, it's just insane.
Wolfenstein.
Yeah. It's nuts.
So not only the studios under ZeniMax, the IPs under ZeniMax are huge. Some of the biggest fucking games you can think of. And that, first of all, the saying goes, Xbox ain't got games. as a wise man once said.
That's right.
And that's one thing Xbox don't got. Xbox ain't got games. It ain't got games.
And that is true. They really struggled to compete with PlayStation this last generation, specifically for first-party content.
Yep.
You think about PlayStation, you think about incredible first-party single-player experiences, right? And you think about Xbox, and you think about infrastructure and like software.
That's right.
As far as like their Game Pass stuff goes. Xbox came out a couple years ago. I don't remember if it was at E3 or whatever when they went through like the Ninja Theory acquisition and like all those studios that they're kind of bringing into their ecosystem, into Xbox game studios or whatever, which is great. But obviously it's going to take a while for all those studios to develop their games. But now you bring in ZeniMax, which has all those studios under it. Besides from the library they already have, you know those studios are working on huge fucking games.
Yep.
Bethesda specifically.
Starfield.
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls.
So, they are really investing in the future of that platform. And I don't think it can be understated enough how massive that is. And I look back to the days of when Don fucking Matrick was head of Xbox.
Fortunately, we have a product for people who aren't able to get some form of connectivity. It's called Xbox 360.
I'd be like, this would have never happened. And I think all of these acquisitions and how well Xbox is doing is in no small part due to Phil Spencer. I mean, that dude gets it. He said what he's going to do. And now you look at how much money Microsoft is investing into Xbox, into that cloud-based technology, into that infrastructure, that ecosystem, and streamlining it across all of their devices. It's insane, and I don't think everything that is going to happen or come from that has been said or revealed yet, and I think it's just going to get better with time.
You're absolutely right. And I think that if the Xbox Series X and the Series S has a poor sale this holiday season and next year, could that lead to Xbox stop developing hardware and they just become a software company and they sell their infrastructure of the Game Pass and all that? That's a possibility. And would it succeed and would it thrive? Absolutely, it would be great to have Xbox Game Pass and all that on the Switch. It would be great to have that on the PlayStation. I don't know if at that point they won't be hardware competitors, but the Switch they'd probably have Game Pass on there if that was the case. And I think Xbox would thrive and they would succeed and they would make, great money. They would make great amounts of money if they did that. It would be a shame because then we lose out on this really awesome high quality console experience. But
I don't think they're maybe in the future. Yes, but I don't think they'll stop it anytime soon. I think Phil Spencer himself said that he still wants to do hardware, but I don't think that's where their money's coming from.
It's not.
To your point.
Exactly.
That's not where it's coming from. They're just not this last generation. They did not compete with PlayStation or Nintendo on hardware sales. They just didn't. Not anywhere close. And I don't think that's going to change with the next generation. I think having the S as a price point, a cheap price point into like a next gen experience, is going to be great for them. It's combined, it's not going to outsell PlayStation. It's not going to outsell Nintendo. No. Hardware.
And the proof is in the pudding. They had enough money to buy ZeniMax pretty much based on Game Pass, sales alone.
Right.
They did sell Xbox Ones, but, not at the level they would hope to have made,
Right.
So.
Right. And further with that, I want to talk about two quick rumors with them and the Game Pass stuff specifically. It seems like forever now there's been the rumor about Xbox acquiring Sega.
That's right.
I don't know. What do you think?
I think it would be huge because this is a Japanese company, and I know Phil Spencer has said multiple times that he's interested in acquiring a Japanese studio. I know Bethesda has a few Japanese studios, right? Ghostwire Tokyo is being created by a Japanese team.
Yeah.
So he has some of that, but with Final Fantasy being a console exclusive now to the PlayStation, they need some more Japan exclusives on the Xbox.
Yeah,
that's just
and
how it is.
I think too there's a niche missing of you look at PlayStation, they literally have Japan Studio.
Yep.
But also they have almost like not exclusivity rights, but these partnerships with other Japanese studios. You look at something like Atlas,
Yep.
for example, where they favor that ecosystem more.
Yep.
And I think that there's a really hardcore group of people that appeals to, Japanese style things that is just completely absent from Xbox's platform.
Yep.
Related to Sega specifically, though, I mean, people were all over that rumor after all these acquisition stuff came out. And I think Xbox themselves, or maybe it was Phil Spencer or somebody else in the company, I don't know, even said, because TGS just happened, that they wouldn't be making any acquisition announcements at TGS. But they didn't officially say, obviously, that they wouldn't be acquiring Sega or whatever. I think it's still perfectly possible. And I think that would give them kind of twofold things, because Sega has a lot of like family-based entertainment, right? I think about like Sonic, things like that.
Yep.
But they also have some really hardcore Japanese games that I think there is a huge audience for.
Yakuza.
Yeah. So, I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. I know it's probably cost them a lot of money, but Sega also hasn't necessarily done the best financially for a really long time. So if they got a sure revenue stream from Xbox, right, they can continue developing all their games, but kind of sure up some of their losses and stuff that they've seen financially. To me, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, and speaking of Yakuza, I think there is some kind of deal with Yakuza Like a Dragon, which is the new title coming out. I think there is some kind of an exclusivity thing with Xbox. So that kind of leads to the rumors. And the Yakuza franchise, I don't know what numbers, like 3 of the Yakuza games just came on Game Pass. So like you're kind of seeing, stuff already make its way on the Game Pass and stuff, just lending itself to the rumors.
Yeah. Are they piloting to see how the infrastructure works for them?
Yeah.
Maybe as part of the deal.
Are they seeing how many people play their games on Game Pass? What the interest is? Like you said, perhaps. But you're 100% right with the family games. They have, Sonic the Hedgehog, which is one of the biggest gaming mascots of all time. They just had a major motion picture release for Sonic. So that would be a huge acquisition for Xbox. Sonic would be the next Blinks the Cat. Who knows?
Yeah. And I forget what I was going to say. I was so enamored with you speaking to me.
Oh, that's how it is. I know the Blinks the Cat reference kind of took your breath away. It's okay.
It did. It kind of took me from left field.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, continuing off of like more just speculation. I don't want to speculate forever. But now to preface, the head of the studio said that it's not going to happen, that it's not in the works. I don't believe him for a second. There's rumors that Xbox could be acquiring Bungie again. Now, Bungie left Xbox Studios a long time ago, partnered with Activision as their publisher. Activision published Destiny 1, Destiny 2 for them and helped them develop it. There's so much crap about how abysmal Activision is. We know how fucking terrible of a company they are. They really are just one of the worst out there. It's like EA and Activision is really close. They're really bad. They're terrible, awful companies. Profits, they're bad. I don't like them at all.
Yeah.
Bungie left Activision. Their agreement was done. I don't think they re-signed or whatever. They left. They're independent now, published. Technically, they're an independent studio, independent publisher. Have been updating Destiny and things like that. So now there's rumors that Xbox is in talks to acquire them again.
Yeah.
I have 2 opinions on this.
Okay.
One, I think for Bungie, it's probably a smart Smart idea, financially. I don't think they are the most financially sound company that exists. Destiny is not as popular as it used to be. They've had a lot of missteps with the franchise, in my opinion. Their player base is not as large as it once was, and also they are a very singular focused company. So for them to publish and develop at the same time, it's going to cost them a lot of money, and I don't know if they have the infrastructure to support that yet.
Yeah.
Twofold, if Bungie goes back to Microsoft, or Xbox specifically, I think they should be forever labeled cucks, and I think they're absolutely abysmal. And for them to get acquired again and go back and grovel, I think is so sad. I think it's so sad. And then you see what happened with their franchise, their baby franchise that they left with 343. And don't even get me started. 343, literally the worst game developer on the face of the planet. They have just fucked Halo. It's bad. They're a disgusting studio ran by absolute idiots. Anyway. Yeah.
Okay. I don't have much to say about this topic that you didn't just say. I was never really a big Halo fan, so, their time with Microsoft before when they were making Halo 1, 2, 3, I honestly couldn't tell you if they made good game, if it was a good game or not. I did enjoy Destiny 1 and I did enjoy Destiny 2. But like you said, the player count is very low, I would imagine.
It's
right
abysmal.
now.
It's abysmal.
The only source of income, because here's the thing, Bungie makes one game every 2 to 3 years. And the thing that keeps them afloat is the microtransactions and the DLC, the expansions. I couldn't tell you when the next DLC comes out or when the last DLC came out. I don't play Destiny anymore, but I would imagine that the microtransaction sales right now are very piss poor, considering that no one is playing the game. At least that's my interpretation of what's happening here. So yeah, they are probably looking for someone. They left Activision because Activision, like you said, is a piece of shit company, and they made them do things in Destiny that they didn't want to do, and including the microtransactions, which are keeping them afloat right now. So yeah, I mean, was Destiny a good fit with Activision? Absolutely not. Was it really weird seeing Destiny on the Blizzard launcher for PC? Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, Destiny 2 is free to play now. So
yeah,
they tried to get more people in there that way, and did they? Maybe. But yeah, I mean, it's a possibility, man. They could go back to Xbox. And it would
think for them. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it would be pretty nuts if they did, because Destiny's had this exclusivity deal with PlayStation all these years, just like Call of Duty, just like pretty much everyone.
I think that's probably a symptom of Activision, though.
Yeah, like I said, Call of Duty, right? So that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, it'd be nuts.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, I don't know what their financials look like. I'm not a financial expert, but to me, from the outside looking in, if I think about their revenue streams, to me, I feel like they're probably hurting right now. I don't know. That's just me from the outside looking in.
Now I'm with you. Hey, did you know this video is actually part of a larger podcast? Check out our latest episode of Hapticast by clicking here.